Okay, as you can see here, I've already started rebuilding the chimney. And now I'm going to take care of the crack that runs down the entire dome. And you got to get real close to see, but it does run on down through here, and you can see this is the mesh the original tile was put on with. Pulling the tiles off, especially on the cracked areas, is not difficult. You can actually hear sound, and this is all I'm using right here, but I don't know if it's going to come through on here. You can hear solid, then hollow. You can tell that one's hollow. So if you just, well, it's a little difficult to get with one, but it doesn't take much. You just get your lip under there, pry it off, and most of the ones that are around it are hollow. That'll come off too. So the best bet is while you're tiling to go ahead and do it all while you're doing it. You know, any that are kind of come loose. See that one right there, the one next to it, and just go ahead and pull them because you're doing the tile work anyway, so you might as well do it all together. Okay, got a little overzealous, but got most of the loose tiles off of this side. I probably could have gone without doing it, but I figured since I'm going to be tiling anyway, I'd go ahead. Anyway, like I said, they come off easy if they're going to come off. You know, if you need to tap them, most of the time they come off together in a sheet of, you know, anywhere from 2 to 10. Anyway, so some people use an angle grinder with a cutting disc or something like that to get in these cracks. I'm a little better with a Dremel. See, with one of these little doohickeys on there like that. And I'm just going to go through and widen and deepen this crack to be able to hold more refractory cement and make it a little stronger. Show you, I may be able to do it and hold the camera at the same time, I'm not sure, but I may just have to just show you the final result. Okay, this is pretty much the channel. That only took me about 2 or 3 minutes. You can see, let me see if it'll show, but you can see kind of where it went all the way through the shell, the crack. That's the main ones you want to worry about. Some of these facial cracks, the refractory cement, as long as it's on that, I think it'll give it a little bit of stretch and or not stretch, but you know, it'll keep it from getting any deeper or moving. But from here, we're just going to clean the area, dampen it just a little bit, and do a little refractory cement. Dampening is recommended, and once you start working with it, you got to work kind of quick because it'll skim over somewhat fast and within a couple of minutes. So when we come back, I will show you what I'm doing and what I'm using. Alright, this is what I'm using. This is what was used to rebuild the firebox and fill the cracks on the inside of the kettle. Seems to be working pretty good. All I'm going to do is, let's see here, just use your basic putty knife. It doesn't have to be this size, it can be a little smaller, whatever you want to work with. It's a little smaller would probably be best for this application, but this is all I have. Anyway, so just going to get some on there, smooth it through. Oh, highly recommend some nitrile or rubber gloves because this stuff will stick, and a wet rag to get any that you might drip onto the tiles themselves, because once it sticks up on the tile, I don't know how easy it'll be to get it off. Alright, and you just get a glob of it on there. It's a little easier when I'm not holding the camera too, but work it into the crack real good. If you've done any kind of sheetrock mudding, it's really similar, just a little thicker, but the technique is pretty much the same. Sorry for the shoddy camera work. I've never really done a how-to vid before, so. Now some, especially on big cracks, they'll reinforce the crack with some metal wire and run it in a ladder, like drill a hole here and here and run it across to cinch the hole up and to keep it from getting any bigger. This doesn't get as high of a temp as the kettle itself, and I don't foresee it moving too much, so I'm not going to worry about that, but you very well could do that. I'll try to remember to link it. There's a video of the procedure a guy did on the firebox some time ago. It'll give you a rough idea, and I'll try to remember to link to it. Anyway, that's it, and you just go through and you just fill the cracks with this this cement, and once you get done, you just let it dry. And once it's good and dry, I think they say to let it sit up for at least 12 hours. And what I do, I don't know if it's needed or recommended or what. Well, actually, it is kind of it's recommended by the cement company, but is to slowly cure it. Don't put a shock on it and get in here and jump it up to 500, 600, 700 degrees on the first burn. You want to cook the moisture out of it real well. So what I usually do is I'll just turn the burner on the bottom. For those with the propane option, if you don't have the propane option, just build you a small fire and try to regulate the temperature to between 200 and 275, somewhere in that ballpark. It's a pretty wide range. But what you want to do is hold it there and have the fire burn long enough to heat up the inside, and then shut the fire down and just let the temperature drop down slowly, and then maybe the next day after, something like that, do it a couple of times and get the moisture cooked out of it properly. That way the first time you hit it with high heat, the water or moisture isn't in there to expand and cause the cement to crack or blow open. Alright, so there's the first application. I may come back and add a little more, even though the crack is pretty well filled. I'll just see how it settles and how it sets. Doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to be coming back with thin set to put the tiles on anyway, which will help level it out a little bit. And if you get some high spots, it's not optimal, but you can always come back with a grinding disc and grind them a little lower, so that your tile sets flush with everything else and you don't have a ridge. So I'm going to let this sit up for 12 to 24 hours, somewhere in that ballpark. Well, probably 24 to 36 hours, and go from there, see if I need to add another coat or if I'm ready to cure it or what. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just post in the comments below and I'll try to get to you as fast as I can.